Hi there, this is David, and welcome to 5 Things That I Wish That I Knew Before I Began One Piece Odyssey. This is the first major RPG release of the year, and I am happy to say that it's pretty great. But it doesn't play like a lot of other RPGs out there. It definitely has its own various quirks. So, since I've already gone through the game, I figured that y'all could benefit from my experience and not have to go through all the setbacks that I went through. So, without further ado, let me give y'all some hints and tips to make your experience a lot smoother than mine. Number 1. Examine all of the signposts. During your adventure, do be sure to keep an eye out for any and all signposts that you come across, because after about 10 or so hours into the game, you're going to get access to fast travel. However, all the signposts that you passed up earlier in the game that you didn't examine will not be automatically added to your destinations list. Only the ones that you personally clicked on will be added. This really annoyed me whenever I first realized it, so again, just keep your eyes peeled for them and make sure that you have access to as many destination points as soon as possible, as quickly as possible. Number 2. Don't just focus on your favorites. Because of the way the battle system works, you really can't just choose your favorite 4 and stick with them for the rest of the game. I wish that you could, but it doesn't work that way. You're really going to have to want to memorize that weapon triangle system and swap out your characters every single battle, not just during the boss fights. In doing so, you're going to be able to keep everyone's TP as high as possible since they'll be regenerating it through their regular attacks. So whenever that inevitable boss fight does come around, everyone's going to be in tip-top shape, ready and raring to go with full TP, which gives bonus stats, as well as a plethora of skills to unleash upon those unwitting bosses. Number 3. Abuse status ailments. During normal battles, you can pretty much just get by with the regular attacks provided that you attack with the appropriate affinity. But boss fights are another matter entirely. Here, not only do you want to have your affinities matching up, but you really need to abuse all the status ailments available to you. From burn and bleed, which deal damage over time, to faint and paralysis, which most bosses are actually vulnerable to. There were many times whenever I placed a character in my party whose affinity didn't match, but who in turn had the appropriate status ailment, so I could force the boss into a sort of stun lock, continually fainting or paralyzing them, and rendering them completely vulnerable to the onslaught from my other characters. Number 4. Avoid most fights. For the most part, the game's pretty easy, so in order to keep up some semblance of balance, you're not going to want to fight every single enemy that you come across. You really should pick and choose and make sure you get the most out of your battles. So, every single time that you come across a campsite, make sure that you throw a party. This allows you to gain 30% bonus experience for the next 10 battles. Then, if you avoid those random monsters like I said, you'll probably be able to carry that bonus over into the bosses. But don't forget that you can get even more, because whenever you're out and about on your adventures, you can press the triangle button to scout the area to see if any enemies have further bonus experience. This way you can be sure that you're able to keep up with the bosses, while at the same time keeping your grinding down to an absolute minimum. And number 5, create trick balls and food. In the previous tip, I spoke about parties and bonus experience, which are great for grinding. But the main way that you can gain absolute gobs of experience, sometimes like in the tens of thousands, is by completing the tasks that randomly occur during the battles. Many times this means defeating a certain enemy with a certain character. And this can be rather hard to do because there is no defend command. So you can't really just pass turns around. So what I discovered is that in lieu of using defend, you can use your food items and your trick balls to kind of pass turns around till the required character's turn comes up. I hated whenever I had to defeat a boss with Luffy, only for his attack to bring the boss down to like single digits or something, but not actually kill him. So I just wasted some time buffing and debuffing till you can choose him again, kill him, and get that glorious bonus experience. So, that's it for 5 things that I wish that I knew before I started up One Piece Odyssey. How are you getting along in the game, and what hints and tricks do you have to share? Let me know in the comments. And if you like this video and want to cheer on the channel, please consider supporting me over on Patreon for exclusive videos and early access to my content, heading on over to Twitch for streaming fun, or coming on over to my Discord to chat and hang out. The links to them all can be found in the video description. This has been David, and if you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.